hone in on one of those headline stories, get you a sense of that first session of the High Court in Johannesburg, where the MK Party is trying to interdict the JSC from holding interviews for judges to be appointed. I believe 55 judges are being interviewed over the course of next week and the following week as well. Let's bring in legal analyst Mpumelelo Zikalala. A pleasure talking to you this afternoon. And, you know, one important point that the JSC secretary has made in the build-up to this legal battle that's taking place in the High Court in Johannesburg is that to indefinitely postpone these interviews at a time when the courts are really buckling under the pressure of severe resource constraints, that in itself would be damaging to the administration of justice. Effectively, we need these judges to be appointed.
Definitely. And the most crucial point is this one. There's no court that can be able to continue without the judge being present. And if you're going to continue to have acting judges that are being there, then what does it do to the finances of the department? What does it do to the proper administration? Because if it's a part-head matter, you have to wait up until the acting judge is available again before you're able to continue. So it's absolutely crucial that these interviews, when they've been set, they go ahead, and due to the number of people that you need to invite. Let's look at it in this sense. You have plus minus 58 candidates that need to be interviewed. There are a number of people that are need to come and form part of the interview panel. If you then say you want to cancel or this proceeding will not proceed, then the financial harm is going to be there. It's great. Operational harm is also great. And there are a number of people which are going to be at a disadvantage. So I think it's one of the things which are going to be considered by the court in making a decision whether they should grant the relief which is being sought by MK Party or Dr. Hlophe or not.
Apparently, the JSC has already spent over 3 million rand preparing for these interviews. Several candidates, members of this newly constituted JSC, will be flying into Johannesburg. They'll be staying at various accommodations next week and the following week as well.
Also remember that when it comes to government procurement, it's not something that happens quickly. It's something that must be submitted well in time. Payments must be made well in time, even from the adverts that were issued, because you don't issue out adverts in the last 24 months or in the last 22 weeks. It's something that takes place a long time ago, and all those things have been taken care of. The logistical and financial implications are simply too large in this case if you say these proceedings must not continue, especially if the basis of that is going to be that there's one candidate that you are saying must be included or must be able to observe. And if that one candidate is not there, there's no quorum which is going to be affected. And there's no decision matrix process which is also going to be affected. So it's what the MK Party must be able to convince this court to say. The rights of Dr. Hlophe and the MK Party are so crucial that all the things that we've counted now must be disregarded so that he's able to attend at a later stage.
Yeah. It's also a point that's been made several times, including when Dr. Hlophe was found guilty of attempting to influence judicial deliberations. You know, the whole process where he became the first judge to be impeached in South Africa. But the question about an impeached judge sitting on the JSC in a process that's meant to appoint other judges, and we've heard several of the lawyers arguing for various organizations, the DA, the JSC, Freedom Under Law and the like, making the same argument in court today.
I think that one must be separated into two, because that's when you get into the merits of the first application. In terms of saying the person who sits as a JSC adjudicator, let's call them that, what position are they going to make? Do they check the integrity of the judge, whether the judge is fit and proper to be able to do the work? But most importantly, are you able to render the professional services of being a judge? Meaning, can you listen to cases? Can you be able to deliver judgments based on the experience that you've enjoyed? Will you be able to render the services that you are looking for? Now, looking at Dr. Hlophe as an individual without looking at other impeachment processes that have taken place, he's the appropriate person to be there because he has sat in the chair. He's been the judge president. He's been a judge before. He knows exactly what type of work is required and what type of acumen or professional acumen is required from the other individuals. But most importantly, he's not the sole decision maker when it comes to a person who's going to be appointed as a judge. There's the Chief Justice, the President of the SCA, or Judge President of all the other provincial divisions, and even nominees that have been made by the President. So that is certainly something that needs to be investigated to say, aren't we in a position in South Africa where the law is a bit behind with regards to impeach individuals serving in the JSC. Currently, there's no civil law that says an impeached individuals cannot sit in the JSC. If that law is not there, then are we creating a law as we are going along? That's something which is going to be determined by part B. But we also can't ignore the fact that in order to protect the integrity of the interview, the integrity of the people that are going to be appointed, you need to have individuals that are beyond approach in terms of them being there and understanding what it means to be a judge, so that they can ask these difficult questions of being fit and proper. They can ask these difficult questions of saying, are you going to influence other judges into thinking in a particular manner? So it's one of the things that will need to be weighed in the Part B application.
Just before the lunch break earlier, Mpumelelo, the DA lawyer Michael Bishop was arguing, or rather asking the question, why has the MK party not opted to rather approach the National Assembly insofar as this is concerned, to replace Dr John Hlophe on the JSC? Do you think, and I'm asking for you to opine here, but do you think that this is more than a matter of principle for the MK party? They want him on the JSC.
I think so. I think the MK party is hell-bent on saying that this is the candidate that you have chosen. We are not going to be dictated to by any court of law or any other individual that is there to say which appropriate individual can be able to sit there. It may also be a matter of resources to say, out of all the individuals that are there, this is the most qualified individual that can be able to sit within the JSC. But what I think the legal rep was trying to say, or counsel side was trying to say, was to say, one of the elements which are looked at by the courts is the issue of alternative remedies which are available. So you have to try the remedy of going to the National Assembly first and saying that because we were chosen as a party, it was not Dr. Hlophe that was voted into Parliament as an individual, but it was a political party that is there. As a political party, we want to be influential as an MK party. Hence, we are going to make sure that we participate in these interviews by replacing the individual that is now tainted or that has been temporarily withheld up until Part B of the application has been heard. So I think we was trying to go to the number of what the court is going to look at. And if the court arrives at a decision to say there are alternative remedies which are available to you, but you've chosen not to utilize it, then the matter is going to be struck off the road for lack of urgency.
Yeah. So this is a court of urgency today where we're hearing these various arguments in Mpumelelo, and we will likely get a decision today.
Probably. But I think maybe latest during the weekend, if the judge sees that they want to go and look at other few case laws that are there. But taking into account the manner in which the judge is interacting with the legal practitioners, the manner in which is asking proper questions, and questions which are very informative, by the way, from both sides, it may be that we can get a judgment today or latest during the weekend or at the very latest on Monday.
Yeah, at the very latest on Monday, as those interviews are set to get underway by the JSC. Mpumelelo Zikalala, let me thank you for your time this afternoon. A legal analyst joining us there as we continue to track that story. The MK party approaching the High Court in Johannesburg on an urgent basis, and that case resumes at 2 o'clock. Once it does, we will take you back there live.